The Esquimalt Adam Smashers wish to acknowledge and recognize the traditional territories of the Esquimalt and Songhees nations, the Lekwungen-speaking people, on whose land we are proud to collaborate, innovate, and learn. Hello, welcome to the Esquimalt Adam Smashers, FRC Team 7287 and FTC Team 20025. My name is Kyle, and in this video you'll have a brief introduction to our team, as well as an overview of the team's different departments and the learning opportunities you'll have while a member. Our lead mentor, Mrs. O'Keefe, will tell you a little bit more about our team and its history.
So we originally started in 2017. The team at the time first was starting in Victoria, and they had approached me on starting a team here at the school, and I said no, we weren't going to do that. And then met a teacher from another school who was doing an FTC team and tried to pitch to one of the students I had who would do really well in his team. So I approached the student about having a seat on this other team, on the smaller robots. And he said to me, looked at me straight and said, "What do you need to make it happen for us to build a large robot as the FRC team?" And I looked at him and I thought, okay, make this impossible. You need to have a minimum 10 students to make this happen. And if you do that, you bring me 10 students before 3 o'clock, it was 1 o'clock, before 3 o'clock, you bring me 10 students, I'll make this team happen for you. So he came back half an hour later with 12 students, and we basically started a team and away we went. Of course, we missed the rookie grants at that point, but we managed to go through it anyway. We raised the money to do the team and went into the competition with a robot we hadn't actually tried to run. We got it started in the hallway before we bagged it, and we broke one of the claws at the actual showing at the 2 weeks before the competition, so we had to build other claws before we went into it. Went into competition. Our Java didn't work, nothing. We had all the other teams come and help us. We really learned at that point what FIRST was about, because they sent people over to come and help us program our robot. They came and brought us other parts that we didn't know we needed to have because we were very, very green. We had no idea what we were doing. And basically went through the entire competition and ended up in the finals in the top 10 teams. So it was very cool to see that with it. In the end of it, we won the Rookie All-Stars, and we won a seat to go to Worlds. And we took 12 students and went to Houston, Texas in April. So we went to Houston and brought 12 students, and that was a huge learning curve for us with everything. And since then, every year, every team has had their own challenges going through it. We've learned that it's not one person that can run everything and be the builder and be the designer and be the kind of the head over everything. It has to be a team. If you have one person doing it, what happens is if that person goes down, then the whole team goes down and nobody knows what they're doing. I've seen the progression of the team over the last 5 years to the point now where we're actually running as a team, where the team members all have their own area they work in. So we have our captain who oversees everything that's going on, but we have our business team who runs and raises all of our funds. And the team alone to run is anywhere between $14,000 to $16,000 a year. And all of that money is raised by students that they do within our community. We've been very fortunate to have really amazing sponsors who come back year after year for us and are willing to put that money into our team to grow with that. The CAD work has been phenomenal, and the difference in what they've done with that. Our first year, it was the first captain who did CAD. The second year, it was the second captain who did CAD. And then from there on out, basically now we have an actual team who actually develops the CAD. And this year, actually last year, we actually had the first year where they built their CAD up and we're actually had a full CAD robot by the end of the year, which was very cool. This year, before we actually go to build, with FTC we're doing as well, is they've actually got the CAD robot built and ready to go. So it's great to actually see those things before we start ordering, which is really cool. It's great to see more girls coming on the team because we are a team of anywhere between 24 to 30 students is where we range throughout the year. When we get to competition, sometimes that number goes down to 15. But even with that, we usually have a minimum of 40% of them are girls, which is one of the higher numbers for the teams on the island here. And it's great that we have girls involved in all areas, in programming, in business, in CAD work, and in building. So they're into the different areas there as well. Our safety captain right now is a girl, which is great. It's good to see that involvement there as well. So there's a lot there with it. Beyond the team as well, we have 3 of our former alumni who are actually gone on to engineering courses. One is at Waterloo in mechatronics, and the other 2 are both at Waterloo in electrical engineering. So it's really great to see that the things that they're learning here are going on beyond this. But even for those that haven't gone on to post-secondary, I do see very many of them, and they'll talk about their time on the Outer Smashers and just how fondly they remember that time and the things that they did learn as being part of the team and building and programming and the different design aspects with it. So I think that there's so much that we've been able to offer their students beyond just building a robot, as far as what it means to be part of the team, what it means to give back to our community, because they do a lot of work as well giving back to community with first workshops with, we're volunteering this next weekend at a local event as well. So I think that it's more than just building a robot, that we're more about the team aspect and also what it means to be an Atom Smasher beyond just in this room, but also beyond in the school and also in the community and in the other schools that that come into our school afterwards. And that's what I've seen with our students, is they've offered that back, that they give back beyond what they learn here as well.
During your time on the team, you have the chance to gain experience with things such as running a business all the way to designing and programming a robot. However, you'll find yourself belonging to at least one of the 3 departments. These are the build, programming, and business teams. The build team is concerned with both the design and construction of the robot. Build team members learn to use computer-aided design software such as Fusion 360 to prototype and model the robot, build before making it a reality, as well as designing and 3D printing needed parts. Build team members have the most hands-on work and learn to use a variety of tools and equipment. The programming team writes the code used on the robot and are involved in running and debugging these programs. They are involved in testing each individual component of the robot to ensure they will work in the overall design. Finally, the business team works on contacting sponsors, community outreach, and fundraising and social media engagement. It costs a lot to run 2 robotics teams, and our team is entirely dependent on donations from sponsors and our own fundraising efforts, and the business team works to make sure this is a possibility. It's worth noting that the tasks and skills you'll learn as part of your time on the team aren't mutually exclusive to those of the others, and you can participate in as many teams as you like. It's also important to understand each of the roles and responsibilities of the departments, as they are all equally important in making the team function. For example, programmers need to be able to understand the wiring of the robot to properly debug, builders need to know how the code will implement their designs, business team members the design and goals of the robot, and all team members participate in fundraising and community outreach. Additionally, all team members can also be involved in driving the robot.
Hello, my name is Ava, and safety is a big part of FIRST Robotics. FIRST Robotics works to ensure a culture of safety in teams at both competitions and at practices. In that spirit, each member of the team must read the current year's safety manual and sign a safety waiver stating that they have read and will abide by its regulations. If team members want to use a tool, they must sign the tool training document stating that they've been trained. If they need training, they must watch the associated training video and receive instruction from a team member or a mentor. Then, the trainee and the trainer must sign the tool training document. Another necessary step in becoming a safe member of the team is understanding the organization and layout of the room. Doing so promotes both a culture of safety and an organized, efficient workspace. The room is organized in 11 specific locations by the room map and is entirely inventoried. Each object is accounted for in either one of 2 inventory documents. The key for the room plan can be found on the door to the hallway, as well as a more detailed spreadsheet online with the specific item, name, and relevant documentation. Any uninventoried objects must be left on the furthest table, location number 2, until inputted into the relevant document. Always return items to the proper location, bag or box, according to the map and labels before leaving. Also, remember to unplug tools when you are not using them. Label containers according to what is being put into them, using tape and markers to make it easier for others to know what the pieces belong to. Always wear safety glasses while in the room, even if you aren't working directly on the robot. Leave the floor clean and clear at all times. No running or horseplay in the workspace is permitted at any time. Finally, report any broken or defective tools immediately. Safety posters can be found throughout the room as well. Important items in the room include the battery spill kit and gloves, can be found in Section 2 and 10. The first aid kit in Section 2, the fire extinguisher to the left is Section 1, and the safety data sheets in Section 9. All team members must read the accompanying safety data sheets to the materials they are working with, such as the non-spillable lead-acid batteries. Safety data sheets can be found in Section 9 as mentioned above, as well as online in the Safety channel on Slack. Team members must also be trained in dealing with a spilled battery. Please refer to the video in this playlist made by Team 2220.
For communication, our team uses both Google Classroom and the platform Slack. To join the Google Classroom, use the classroom code on the board. After doing so, a member will invite you to join the Slack workplace. There, you'll find the contact form to fill out as well as the job board with all the current tasks, sorted by department and team members. Don't forget to register with FIRST as well on their own site using the link provided. Once you've decided which departments you would like to be a part of, and have finished this playlist, join the corresponding channel on the Slack and connect with your department head, and they'll get you set up with one of the corresponding tutorials and documentation. Up next on the playlist are the season videos from FIRST that explain the game we are playing this year. All documents referenced in this video can be found on Slack. Thank you for watching, and all the best with your time on the team.